Today, thank you. Other interesting political news, you have Ron DeSantis going viral for voter increase statistics as he was governor. Now, interestingly enough, I can't help but think and see that all the interviews and all the videos he's making post dropping out for Republican nominee, he seems infinitely happier and better. Even his awkward smile has gotten a lot more humane. Now, truth be told, I don't have much ground to stand on with my smile, but nevertheless, his videos are more personable and he seems to be less awkward. Now, this one went viral almost immediately, and again, within this one particular statistics, I wrote this 48 hours after I took the data, or I took the data after 48 hours it was posted, and it got 1 million views. So for DeSantis, he's only gotten a couple really big viral moments. And in his campaign, I think he went viral, aka, or I define it as going over 1 million views, maybe 3 to 6 times. And hilariously, kind of ironically enough, the most viral moment of his career ever was when he made his dropout statement on X Twitter. That got over 40 million views. Now, nevertheless, this particular statement comes from his personal X Twitter profile, and he says, quote, "When I got elected governor in November 2018, Florida had close to 300,000 more registered Democrats than Republicans. Today, we have close to 800,000 more registered Republicans than Democrats, a net gain of more than 1 million in a little more than 5 years. Produce results and people respond," unquote. Again, they got 22,000 likes. And I can't help but think, where was this 3 months ago? 6 months ago? Again, DeSantis, I always tell people, a great example of how you can have a good product, but without the right marketing, the product will fail. And in this case, I think you had a strong candidate for a Republican nominee, but the big elephant in the room was Trump running, and Trump's a lot more popular than DeSantis, and more people respect Trump, and that's why he's getting all the more ammo. But even just going to fight for the Republican nominee, why did DeSantis not drive it home to the fact that he had a proven track record? He did mention it, but in terms of consistent marketing messaging, he could have done a whole campaign around swag and accoutrements that you could sell to people just as simple as DeSantis does, and do a cool like a D over a D or D squared logo. And you could have a t-shirt or a mug or something that has 2 or 3 bullet points that he is most proud of as his accomplishments as governor, and tell us how it's going to translate into when he's president. That's what he could have done. And again, would that have helped him overcome the gap between him and Trump? I don't suspect so, because of the huge MAGA power and the following that Trump has, but it would have done a lot better. Again, he started around 32% in the polls for Republican nominee. He went down to around 11 in a year. That's worse than some of these publicly traded stocks and companies that are going out of business. It's a terrible negative trajectory. But I'm not sure. So it's unusual for him to keep these stats up. Now he's on social media, now he's talking more about it. But why now? Again, he's still governor, he still wants to look good. But this message would have been a lot better received like 3 or 6 months ago. And maybe he would have got more support. And I suspect he would have. But, so it is bizarre. And again, that's a great achievement that you could point to. He increased the voter turnout. You can also say he contributed, or he approved policies that attracted Republican voters as well to relocate and move there. Again, I thought he had a lot of potential, but not executed right at all. Now, again, going to the comments section, maybe he has overwhelming support. Again, prior to him dropping out, it's usually not a 60-40 split, but maybe a 50-50 split between positive accolades from his supporters, and then usually about 30% people from the Trump, people who are fans of Trump saying it's not your time, don't like him, and then 20% just completely, as youth might call, not rickrolling him, trolling him, I believe is the term. Now, going to the comments, one of the first most popular ones comes from Rosie Memos, or Memos. My way sounds fancier, but nevertheless, this person says, quote, "Not giving hashtag Scott Pressler any credit is gross. He dedicated his life at the time to flip Florida," unquote. And that got 1.4 thousand likes, which, yeah, you should, again, I'm not an expert on Scott Pressler by any means, but if that is the case, you probably should have given him some credit. A lot of people really, I think, respected Trump more over the past couple of days. Last week, he was actually giving accolades to Vivek Ramaswamy specifically for bringing his attention of having a central bank digital currency in place that would give the government control to stop you and having your life like that. Immediately stops all your ability to do any transactions, pay any bills. again, Trump gave Vivek credit for bringing that topic to his attention, and now that's part of his proposal, or one of his list of things that he'll do if he does become president, is make sure the U.S. federal government cannot roll one of those things out. And again, I think people saw that as maybe Trump growing, give him some credit, goes a long way with a lot of people. So yeah, it is kind of interesting. The first comment is, why are you giving this guy credit for help? But nevertheless, John Trovada says, quote, now get on the campaign trail and help, excuse me, and help Trump, unquote, getting 753 likes. Stacy Celebrates Tradition says, quote, now fix the homeowners insurance crisis. Elderly people are suffering. My neighbor has lived in the same house for 45 years. In the past 2 years, her insurance has tripled. This should not be happening. We do not live in an area that takes on hurricane damage, unquote. They got 698 likes. Lucky says, quote, you spent $200 million and got 26,000 votes across 2 states, unquote. Which, that's almost as bad as a blunder from Bud Light in terms of spending money to lose money. That did get 369 likes. Sweet G. Jepper says, quote, thanks to Scott Presler and President Trump, maybe a little humility would do you some good, unquote, getting 186 likes. Jeez Louise, there seems to be more roasting than accolades in this particular instance with Ron DeSantis. You do have Laves saying, quote, America's best governor, with a pointing above emoji. And that got 499 likes. See here? Nate says, quote, somewhere's hashtag Scott Presler is taking credit for this, unquote, getting 460 likes. Ultra Mega Joyce Day, which I would say A+ for marketing for this gal, but she doesn't even have the iconic Trump hat. She is, again, her profile picture is hatless, which is, come on, you do not get A+ marketing, but we do appreciate, now we know her political, I was going to say bias, or political preference, which inherently probably does have some bias as well, but nevertheless, the Ultra Mega Joyce says, quote, that's because Florida is Trump country, unquote. It got 499 likes. MJ Truth Ultra was much more blunt when he says, quote, Trump did that, dipshit. And it's a GIF accompanying it with Donald Trump saying, you're welcome. That got 272 likes. Ooh, the LJ Podcast says, quote, I changed my party to vote you out in the primary, unquote. Got 108 likes, actually. The United Spot says, quote, wait, now you want to be governor again, unquote, getting 164 likes, which is a jab at him advocating from some of his folks in the responsibility of Florida governor when he was running for president. Ashley Munoz says, quote, you're welcome, Trump. Got 313 likes. Kat says, quote, I wonder who did that. And it's a picture of Donald Trump drinking a glass of water, getting 76 likes. So, yeah, I thought there'd be, let's see here. Oh, the Gay Republican says, quote, yes, Florida is a Republican paradise, unquote, getting 60 likes. Yeah, so interestingly enough, a worse ratio than usual in terms of people critiquing Ron DeSantis, even though it did go viral. Lots of people saw it. But at the end of the day, I kind of wonder, I mean, what's his goal for this? Even though, and again, where were these, I don't know who is part of his marketing department, his campaign department, but let's just say they probably shouldn't be in politics, or they need to go back to the drawing board, so to say. Because, again, in terms of the marketing business, the marketing blunder of the year, let me know in the comments, who did a worse job marketing themselves as a product or service? Ron DeSantis or Bud Light? It'd be a tough competition. But, as always, let me know in the comments. Be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of January, so if you can click that button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback to let me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.